Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we have a decision to make here. And that decision is, do we want to declare war on Somalia during or after this war? Well, we will find out. Somalia being up here in Yemen is very irritating. There's no doubt about that. We do have forces on the way over here, and we'll get that taken care of. This issue here is significant, but there's not much we can do about it right now. So we have these locations down over here under our control. That's understood. We do need to take whatever we can up over here. We find that we're at plus 18 now. And I'm wondering if we were to do this. We would annex the Revolter, right? And that's all of this. They would accept that. Very interesting. We can't separate peace Yemen. So if we were to take some of this territory out here, this is currently occupied by Somalia. We can't do that. We could just peace out, and that's very interesting for sure. They wouldn't accept this at this point. Understandable. So that's absolutely fine. I want to finish up this, which we have done. And these guys were intended to be fully here at this point. Let's group together our fleet. Get in here. There you go. Okay. So these guys were intended to be fully moved over here. Cool. So just get those grouped in. That's potentially a lot of money, but we don't really need the legitimacy. It's fine. We don't lose anything from not doing that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get these guys transported down over to here. So we lack access? What do you mean we lack access? This is part of Jazan. I'm sorry, what? I strongly disagree that we lack access. I guess what we would need to do is we'd need to do a naval invasion, and it's not setting up a naval invasion with this order. I guess that makes sense. So what we need to do then is we need to do that. So we just can't have the fleet selected. Interesting. Well, that's fine. We'll just send some forces over, and we'll get our naval invasion going over here. So we should be able to defeat their fleet, which is currently here. That shouldn't be a problem. They're going to get kicked out of this area pretty quickly, and that's understood. So we do see this siege progressing, and our forces will be arriving here eventually. There we go. So these guys are going to get kicked out of this port. They might sail to here, which would be the smart move. They sailed to here, which is, I guess, good enough. Why are we still naval invading when we control the province? Okay, I guess it goes a lot faster anyway, so this is fine. So we're just going to be invading out over here. Now, we just got access to the barracks, and that's absolutely understood. I'm going to go for something like new regiments or just guns workshops. That'll be fine. I do want to check in and see what we've got going on for RGOs. There might still be a few of these that can be built. Indeed, there are. I'm going to do so. There we go. And we're going to get landed over here. I don't really want to naval battle these guys if we don't have to, and so the fact that they didn't contest that means that I'm just going to head down over here. Now, we should probably swap these two armies, because there's a lot more cannon here. So I'm going to do that, and we're just going to move these guys back over this way. Perfect. So Yemen is getting absolutely wrecked at this moment, and the question is, what is Somalia actually planning to take from Yemen? Like, how long is Somalia planning to fight Yemen? We don't know. We have no idea whatsoever. So we're going to take this location, head down here. That'll be fine. It looks like Somalia is losing battles up there. I want to take a look at that, actually. If we look at this war here, This is Somalia versus Jazan, Yemen, and Catan. And if we look at their actual amounts here, Somalia has almost no army strength. That's very interesting. I'm currently thinking we send this guy down here, and we did start fabricating down over here, building our spy network. It's currently size 7. So if we were to create a CB here, how much would we need to do that? Size 20? Okay, that's going to take some time. But I'm okay with that. So next, we've got this under control down here. So we need to come on, we need to come here. Somalia is currently getting that. We're going to hop in here and hope that they leave. I don't think they're going to, but something like this. Somalia is probably going to take this. Yeah, Sultanate of Somalia controls that, as I expected. We're going to head out over this way, and apparently we're going to fight some Yemeni forces here. Okay. And our goal here, of course, is just to take a bunch of territory out this direction for right now. I'd like for this to get finished up. That would be the dream, but as of right now, that is not happening. So Somalia has very little strength at this moment, and with that in mind, this is almost their entire army. If we check in here, according to that tooltip anyway, let's see what they've got here. Yeah, this is half of their army here. They do have 7,300 regulars, apparently. But, I mean, this army alone has 7,400 regulars, so that's probably not that big of a concern. Well, this siege will be finishing up shortly. That's at 49%, so odds are good. Yeah, there we go. And we're now going to head up over to, if I can actually order them to travel, that would be useful. There we go, up over here. Perfect. So we capped here. We're going to go here next. Excellent. And actually, I just want these guys to walk directly to this fort. That'll be fine. So we're going to be auto-capping a bunch of this out over here. And we stack-wiped a unit there. Hilarious. And the question is, where did that Somali army that's out over here go? I guess we'll find out. I want these guys to hop up over here. So we can put an end to this war at any time, but I'm kind of being greedy right now. Okay, so we have this siege underway. That looks good. This is occupied by Somalia. Very rude of them, but we're interested in maybe walking up over here. Yeah, we'll go walk up over there and start up a siege. So currently, our spy network with Somalia is at 12. So it's going to be like 8 months before we're ready to declare on them, and we're absolutely going to declare on them at the current state. They are in a really, really bad situation right now, and we can definitely deal with that. So that looks good. We are net negative right now on monthly sailors. A lot of that is due to ships repairing. So that's probably going to be done fairly soon, right? If we go in here, we can see just this early Karak. Yeah, that's going to be done relatively quickly. Now, our army maintenance is low right now, as is our naval maintenance, so that's understood. So we're just going to get this siege completed up over here, and these guys, they're coming up here to siege. And now, is this... Yeah, this is on this side of the border. Okay, perfect. So we're going to need to get Somalia dealt with eventually in this area, but that's absolutely understood. Somalia is not very powerful out over here right now. So as of this moment, we can see that our spy network is at 14, so that means we've got about 5 months until we're ready to declare on Somalia. And declare on Somalia we shall. My current goal, actually, I don't know if this is viable, to be clear. I haven't investigated if we can do this with, like, the war score. My goal is to vassalize Yemen and take another chunk out of Somalia. We can definitely take a chunk out of Somalia, but vassalizing Yemen, I don't know about that. We'll see. It'll be a very interesting thing if we can do it. Let's hop into here, and let's go into Sue for Peace and see what... Toggle other treaties. I don't think we can directly interact with Yemen in this war here. We can take territory from them, for sure. We can definitely do that. So this would be annexing Jazan, which is indeed exactly what we want to do. This territory could be given back to Taiz, and I would absolutely love to take a little bit more out over here. So this would be like the province of Ib. And we can see here that they have actually not that many reasons to not accept this right now. They'll get over it. They'll definitely be interested in doing that. So I'm planning on expanding Taiz a little bit in this war. We can't actually vassalize Yemen, although I'd love to be able to do that. And as far as Somalia goes, we may not actually fight them in this war, but we're going to fight them very, very soon, for sure. We're going to walk up over this direction as quick as we can. And they're going to occupy some territory out over here. I'm not a huge fan of that, but whatever. So we do need these sieges up over this direction. That is absolutely a necessity, but we'll have this grabbed soon. There we go. That's looking good. And then these guys are going to walk all the way back over to here, unless Somalia starts sieging it, which they might. To that end, I'm going to split this force in half. And we're zone of control blocked for getting there. Never mind. We're just going to group these back together. Okay. So that's fine for now. And this is now capped. So we need to head this direction. Hopefully by the time we get there, this siege will be over. Speaking of over, the war with Somalia and Yemen. Okay, that's a big deal. So in that case, we definitely have more things to do here. I'm no longer interested immediately in a war with Somalia. That will happen after, for sure. Let's get these guys moved to, like, here. Let's get these guys moved up. Because we need to take over this location. That is now of utmost priority. So that's all fine. We're going to get this all auto-capped up over here fairly soon. So that looks good. There we go. So there's all of that auto-cap happening up over this way. And that looks delightful. So next up, we need another research here. Garrison growth, garrison size. No, we're going for institution growth. That's fantastic. Okay, so this is looking absolutely phenomenal right now. Dissidents abroad, huh? Sure, we'll support them. These are Somali dissidents. I'm absolutely fine with that. So we've got our forces moving up here. I want these guys to come invade first up over here. We're definitely going to need to get that under control. So that looks good. We're going to get this under control shortly. There we go. And now I want to come down over here. We're going to need to siege this location. And so we shall. We've got a couple locations that are going to need to be sieged. I want to have these guys come invade up over here for right now. That'll be fine. Looks like they're going to go part of the way on land, but that looks absolutely okay. What is this? Navies with attrition? Okay. Our crown prince is ill. This has been happening a lot. He survived. Wow, okay. We'll take it. So this siege is progressing nicely, and we have more sieges that need to happen, of course. But yeah, Somalia exiting that war is a huge deal. And they didn't take land up here, which is an even bigger deal. So we're going to come up here and get this all under control. That looks fine. And then the plan is for this army to land down over here and come up this way and start doing one of these sieges. Now, this army needs to be replenished eventually. That's absolutely understood. But for now, this is fine. So our occupation here was successful. I'm just going to wait for the last unit to get here. There we go. And now we're going to have them transport over to here. So I don't know when these guys are going to get turned around. There we go. Took them a moment to get their orders, but that's fine. So we're going to transport over our other professional force here. And we'll get started on some of these sieges. But we definitely have a number of sieges that need to happen here. We can do a parliament, and I'm interested in doing so. Backing the war effort is kind of irrelevant. Funding farming estates seems pretty good. We'll go ahead and take that. That's at 47 to start. Wow. Okay, we might not even need to do anything. Okay, so we've got our last couple of units transporting over here. We could clearly use a few more transport ships, but this is good enough for now. Where are you guys going? Why did you go here? I don't think I ordered that. I want you guys to walk up over here. Wild. As long as you're here, why don't you just hang out here and cap this quick and then go in? That'll be fine. So Gondar changes stance in debate. Okay, that's noted. So that means that we basically have to do serfdom support, which is not ideal, but we'll take it. Okay, so we're going to cap here real quick. That seems fine. Is this controlled by Yemen? It is. But that is not a capital, so that should be okay. This siege will be done in the eventual times. It's not currently, and it'll take a little while. Okay, so we've got a lot of sieges underway here. We just finished integrating. There we go. Let's get these guys moved up over here. So do we have any other integrations that we need to do? No, this is it. So I'm going to work on doing some tribesmen settling for the time being. Actually, this is the total tax base. This is not the increase in tax base. Okay, I'm going to work on doing some tribesmen settling up here for now, but that's not really something that I actually want to be working on. For the moment, it'll do. So this siege up here should be finishing eventually. And we're making progress on some of these other sieges. Now, I am keeping an eye on this situation out over here. For the moment, it looks largely okay. The Gadeo Patriots are going to be firing up eventually, but they're not a big concern. So for the time being, that looks fine. I want to get these sieges underway and fully completed. We have 3 out of 6 sieges underway here, and we're going to need more. So we are going to declare war on Somalia after this, for sure. But I want to get what we can out of this war with Yemen. I want to prove to Yemen once and for all that we have fully eclipsed them. Because we have. We truly, truly have. So these sieges need to finish, and we're taking heavy attrition up here. That's absolutely understood. But the sieges are progressing reasonably nicely. Eventually, they'll finish. We're positive chances on all of them, so that's looking good. Wow, this one finished on 7%. Okay, we'll definitely take that. So we'll head down to El Ara. We'll get that under control. Seems good. This is at 21. Now it's up to 35. This is at 35. Let's see what we get on this roll. We got it. Okay, let's go ahead and start up a siege out over this way. We are very low on our troop count. That's understood. Okay. So we're going to have this capped very shortly. The plan now is for these guys to head out over here and cap this. Then we'll come here, then we'll come here, is the idea. Okay, so far so good. Now we do have a lot of gold on hand, and I'd like to just expand RGOs where that's possible. There are no additional RGOs to expand. Beautiful. That's what I wanted to see. So that's perfect. We'll just bank the rest of this, and it'll probably go into road upgrades once we're done with that. We just finished up this siege right here. And there's also Prester John, which is ideal. So next, let's go for something along the lines of spy network construction. That'll be pretty decent. These guys can start pushing northward at this point, which we absolutely want to do. There we go. And I'm not concerned about this force. They can't do anything, so that's absolutely fine. That's a lot of money that I don't really care to spend right now. They'll get used to it. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. So obviously, Jazan is not very happy about their situation. That's not surprising at all. They want out of this war. We're at 100% war score, by the way. And can we take anything else out of this? Probably not, to be honest. So they would not accept this current demand because this is too high of a peace offer. Okay, so we can't actually take all of Ib here. We could maybe back off of Juban. This would be 123. This would be 110. Even that would be 103. Okay, I'm going to clear this, and we are going to get all of this here. Can we flip this over to Taiz? I would like to flip this. I think there's a way to do so. Transfer occupation. There are no possible countries to transfer control to. Okay, so we can't flip it right now because they separate pieced. So we're going to need to take back all of this territory here and take back that. So that is taking back all of their territory, and that is a total peace cost of 3. So that's probably a whole lot less than using this button. Let's go ahead and grab whatever gold we can, and that's a peace cost of 28 now. So I want to grab some territory up over here. This is mostly just to punish Yemen, and they would accept this at this point. This is 85. This is not acceptable, 108. That will never be acceptable, but that's 93. Is there anything out over here? We could grab that. That would be 98. This would be 96. 97. That's 97, and that gets us a fort. That's 107. Is there anything, like, super duper cheap here? 101. That's very close. They would accept this. That's 99. Surely we don't have anything that we could get beyond this. This has to be absolutely maxed. Okay, we'll take this. Beautiful. So that gets us back all of our territory, plus some. And we're going to start moving these guys back at this point. We do not need to continue these sieges, of course. And we'll just push on through here. So now what we need to do is we need to give all of this territory to Taiz. That's the plan here. So I want to open up their... Let's see here. We need to go to... Open all diplomatic actions. Subject actions. Cede location. No, cede province, probably. So we're going to cede them Aden. We're going to cede them... Oh, that's just a location? Right. We needed to be in the... View all diplomatic actions, cede province, and we're going to cede them Taiz. We're going to cede them Dathina. We're going to cede them Ib, and we're going to cede them Zabid, and we're going to cede them this up over here if we can. Yes, we can. Okay, so we gave them all of the territory that is out over here. So Taiz is now going to be significantly stronger from that, and that's very, very good. Let's bring our forces home. It's going to take us a little while to do so, but now that we have a real, actual navy, we're going to be able to do stuff, and that's a very good thing. So we do have some starving provinces at this moment. We also have some devastated locations, which surprises me. Okay, let's just work on that. That's because this was occupied down over here for like 1 trillion years. And that's absolutely fine. So we're going to be recovering our forces for a little bit. That's going to be expensive. I'm going to start moving these guys across the strait. There we go. So no problem there. It's just going to take a little while to ferry all of these forces. Excellent. Okay, we'll just leave these here for now. I'm going to have these guys come down to here. There we go. And our forces are working on regenerating, but it is going to take them some time. But all things considered, that played out reasonably well. I mean, I would like to start pushing harder on Yemen and greatly expanding Taiz. However, they have lost loyalty. Country strength of all vassal countries versus overlord. I have questions about that. Presumably that's because of Upper Butana. And Taiz is not tremendously strong, but they do have some strength. So yeah, it's mostly Upper Butana. Now, one thing we can do is we can do a claim throne CB on Upper Butana, if I remember correctly. Disloyal subject CB? What does this do? Conquer cost and subjugate cost? I mean, it's not really what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to get them loyal again and annex them. That would be the dream. I don't know that that's actually going to be a thing. So we'll see. For now, of course, these guys need to make their way back over here. And there we go. That should be this entire force over. So we're going to have these guys come on up over this way for the time being. So that looks good. And Lamb have joined a coalition against us. Okay. I'm not too concerned about Lamb. Everything is looking great there. Now, I want to hop in here and see, are there any RGOs that we can build now that we've expanded a little bit? The answer is yes, but that's it. Just those two. So now, I want to come in here and go into our... This is the military tab. I want to go into our road builder because I just want to work on upgrading some of these roads to paved roads, and that will be absolutely fine. That's where our gold is going to go for a little bit when it's not going into our regiments, which we're probably going to work quite a bit on expanding our regiments. I should be clear about that. But I'm going to wait until we have our... Really? You really think that's a good idea, Somalia? Well, then. Okay, so who all's in this? Somalia, Lamb, Al-Hirda, and Al-Murra. So Lamb is actually reasonably strong. That's noted. They are going to have a hard time getting to us, but they are reasonably strong. Somalia is not. Somalia has no troops at this moment. They can raise a few, but they have none. I'm going to have these guys start heading southward, and they're probably sufficient to deal with that. Do we feel like we need to raise levies? It's a hard maybe. I'm wondering how much naval power Lamb has. Almost none. Okay. That's pretty hilarious. So our Navy maintenance is up right now. Our Army maintenance is not. I'm not going to be worried about our Army maintenance, but our Navy maintenance being up is fine. I want to get this early Karak dealt with. And I also want to check in. I would love to see if we can get more monthly sailors. And the answer is yes, actually. We can work quite a bit on this. So we have a few fishing villages that we can make. We have a wharf that we can make, and we have a shipyard that we can make. Okay, so I'm going to be putting money into that. And in fact, with this war on, I'm currently thinking about if I can find those road expansions, getting rid of them. But I don't think we can find them. For the time being, that's okay. So Somalia has a bit of a navy, but Lamb is going to have a really hard time getting to us. Somalia also has a 0 strength army over here. I'm going to send this force to go intercept them because look at all of those regiments there. They're currently moving in, or actually they're just sitting in Agarat. So I'm going to go stack wipe that. They're currently moving into Asmara. So they're moving into us. Okay. We'll stack wipe that. That is, are they black flagged? Oh, they must be black flagged. Okay. We can't actually intercept them. That's a little sad. But that's understood. So we see here that Al-Hirda is in this war. So that's understood. They're probably... I wonder if they have passage through Mecca or Yemen. We can attack Al-Hirda without any major issues. So that would mean moving our fleet down over here, which I'm certainly interested in doing. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to deal with this war. It shouldn't be that bad, honestly. Tribe of Lamb has a lot of troops, but they're going to have a hard time bringing them to bear on anything other than Thais. They might be able to get Thais, but we'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Thylo K, Thosmos VR, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, Moonfall, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.